Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Fifer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
It is time again. Welcome in. How are we doing here on a Tuesday? That's right, folks. It's not Monday. It's not Monday. I know some of you may have thought it was Monday, but it's not Monday. It is Tuesday. First day of school today as well. Coming up, Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer, go inside the clubhouse. Brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign up for their fall mini camps going on right now. You do not have to be a member of Focus, but again, if you want some extra coaching for your kids here in the fall, maybe where you're at now doesn't offer it or whatever the case may be, go sign up there. And then you get a chance to get to know the coaches and so forth, telling you you'll like them. So again, focusbaseball.com. Green and Gold Update, brought to you by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tom Silverstein, Packers beat writer, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, joins us at 4 o'clock. First day of school, quickly. Charlie, did your parents make you do the first day of school picture each year?
Yes, they did. This is like weird too, because I know like last year I didn't have a first day of school around this time either because I finished a little bit early and everything. But like this is just weird. It feels weird to be an adult now, and like my life doesn't change when it's first day of school or summer's over or anything. But yes, I had to do the first day of school picture.
Let me ask you this, because for those of you that don't know, I was moving the kid into UW lacrosse or last week, so that's why I wasn't here in the second half of last week. Did your mom want a first day of school pic for you on the first day of school? Like she requested it, didn't think he'd actually do it. And then he actually did it and sent her the picture today before his first class at 11 a.m. mind you.
I was definitely more willing to do it in college, but yes, my mom did always want a first day of school picture. My sisters would always send them too.
Oh, through college too?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now we're all done with school, so she's probably a little sad that she's not getting any more first day of school pictures. Yeah,
it's pretty funny. Yeah. So yeah, I did all that this morning and all that, and away we go into the school year. All right, let's talk more about this Micah Parsons trade. So I'm going to tie the Bucks into this Micah Parsons trade real quickly here, if you don't mind. The Milwaukee Bucks made a deal for Drew Holiday. Gave up a bunch of picks, all that fun stuff. Drew Holiday ended up being an NBA champion. Drew Holiday got to be in a parade celebrating a championship. Confetti, all that fun stuff as they were advancing throughout the playoffs. Now, they won it in Phoenix, so that necessarily didn't happen here, but either way, got to be a champion. Then they moved on from Drew Holiday and they made the move for Damian Lillard. Now, when they made the move for Damian Lillard, most of the reaction was, holy crap, they got Damian Lillard? Are you kidding me? How the hell did they get Damian Lillard? Because they weren't talked about being a team. It was Lillard was talking about Miami or bust. So they get Damian Lillard. There were some, I'm not going to say everyone, there were some that were mad about that deal because they love Drew Holiday and his wife and everything they did charity-wise and in the community, and everybody loves Drew Holiday and his wife for everything they do. So there was some of that. Then Holiday gets here, out of shape, didn't play all that well that first year, then gets hurt in the playoffs, and people are just besides themselves. What a horrible trade. Oh my God, they screwed this whole thing up. If they still would have had Drew. Then you go through the second year. Plays better, much better shape. Things are going well. Blood clot. Gets done with the blood clot, comes back, tears some stuff up, and now he's going to be out all of next year and didn't play in the playoffs again this year. People living. Worst trade ever. Blah, blah, blah. And as I've stated before, and I will state again, I would have done that same deal that John Horst did 10 out of 10 times. 10 out of 10 times. It didn't work, but I would have done that same deal. Guarantee you I would have done that same deal. And this is what I want to know for you. Will this Micah trade be great for the Packers regardless of what happens? right? Are you going to love this deal in 2 or 3 years if Micah Parsons has back issues every year and can't play? You still going to say this was a great deal for the Packers, or are you going to turncoat it and go, I knew that deal was going to suck. Goody got screwed. The Cowboys knew his back was screwed up. You want to know why I'm asking this question? Because I already see some of y'all on social media last night screaming and yelling that the Packers are going to get screwed in this deal. His back is worse than everybody thought. And now watch, he won't even play. He's going to end up having to have surgery at some point. Then he'll miss more time. And the Cowboys got the Packers. Maybe that's what happens, right? Maybe he doesn't get on the field. Maybe he's hurt his entire time here. But like Damian Lillard, I'm telling you, I would have made that deal 10 out of 10 times. That dude had to pass a physical in order to be cleared for that deal to happen. So the Packers doctors had to feel good enough about his back in order to clear that trade for happening. So if this ends up being worse than we all thought and he ends up missing significant time and everything else, you could be mad at the Packer doctors. Don't be mad at Goody. Don't be mad at Ed Policy. Don't be mad at Matt LaFleur, David Milgada. The people you're mad at would be the Packer doctors who cleared this dude on his physical for this trade to happen. Because if there was something serious with that back that they didn't think they could remedy, they wouldn't have cleared his physical and that trade wouldn't have happened. They would have said, no, there's too much long-term possibilities of things going sideways here. We're not dealing with this back. Sorry, Brian, but no, we're not passing them. Will this Micah trade be a great deal for the Packers, regardless of what happens? My answer is absolutely freaking yes. You will never, ever hear me second guess. I don't care if the man doesn't play a game for the next 3 years of this contract. That deal was a deal they had to make. They pushed all in. They swung for the fences. I don't care if he plays all the games and they don't win a Super Bowl. They pushed all in and they tried. I'm never going to go after them for going all in and trying to win a championship by giving up multiple ones and a good player in Kenny Clark. But I feel like some of you are going to turn on this immediately if this goes sideways and act like you knew all along. Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Sound off with a recorded voice message on the Odyssey app. Trav, Brown Deer, you're next on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line here on The Fan. Sparky with you. What's up, Trav?
How's it going, guys?
Going good.
Yeah. Hope everybody had a good weekend. You bet. Just like you said, they pushed the chips or whatever. Yeah. This is the biggest move. Like you know, I was listening since Brett Favre, Reggie White, Charles Woodson. This is, and I know, you know, in the snow and stuff, if they take Micah down in his first 4 years, do you want to be next to this man down the tunnel, right? Reggie White. It's a no-brainer. What I'm scared about, Sparky, is Jordan Love's got to hold his end of the deal. Josh Jacobs will, I think. He's got to hold his end of this deal, though.
I'm not worried about Jordan Love. Thanks for the call. Maybe I'm nuts. And I will gladly admit that I was wrong on Jordan Love if Jordan Love flames out and isn't good. But I'm telling you, with almost certainty, this defense should be so good that this dude should only literally have to score 2 touchdowns a week to give them in a position to win. Literally. Couple touchdowns and a field goal. 17 points. I think in most weeks, if they score 17, they're beating whoever they're playing in most weeks. Maybe they don't go undefeated, but they're going to win most games. And they're going to win most games. They're going to have a chance to win the division. And then they're going to get to go to the playoffs. And then we see what happens. That's the other thing I see about Micah Parsons. Well, he's great in the regular season. Postseason comes. They start to run the ball more. Then he disappears. Okay, well, we'll deal with that when we get to that point. But let's get to that point first and see what it is. Let's see if Jeff Hafley is creative enough to figure out ways for him to wreck games in the playoffs. I have pretty strong belief in Jeff Hafley that he'll be able to figure this out. Nobody was happier. Nobody. Well, Micah was the happiest because he got paid the most. Goody was the second happiest because that pretty much ensures job security for him that he pulled it off. And then after that, it's Jeff Hafley. Hafley was more excited than Matt LaFleur. There's no question. You gave this guy an early Christmas present.
This puts more pressure on Matt LaFleur, I think now. I think Brian Gutekunst, now that he's kind of saved himself and gotten this, all the eyes are on Matt LaFleur now and seeing how you adapt your offense to playing with a guy like this on your defense. And I get what Trav is saying here. I think with Jordan Love, it's not about going out there and throwing 300 yards now.
Nope.
It's about going out there and doing your best Jalen Hurts impression and go out there and be the most consistent when they need you to be consistent.
Don't lose the game.
Exactly. Do not lose the game, but do everything in your power in those moments to make sure you are making the right play basically 100% of the time. You have to be that perfect if you're going to be on this type of offense. I talked about it on Middays with Thunder earlier today, is that when you compare this Packers team right now to this Dallas Cowboys team, you want some inside fantasy football advice, go draft Dak Prescott, because that offense is going to be on the field 99 times. That is a really good offense with a really awful defense. So he's going to rack up the yards. You don't need Jordan Love to do that. You just need him to be a good enough quarterback in those moments to where he's not making mistakes. He has to be a Jalen Hurts, a Brock Purdy in these situations.
The other part about this, too, is what we think this offense is going to be hopefully does not change now because they have Micah Parsons, right? Don't go away from what we all think you're going to be. And what we all think you're going to be is a offense that runs the football, has two tight ends, stretches the middle of the field with said tight ends, and then takes their shots from time to time off play action to Golden or Christian Watson when he's back. That's what this offense needs to be. Pound the rock, play act, take your shots. That's it. I don't need this offense to be what it was with Aaron Jones in the second half 2 years ago. And I think a lot of you look at that offense and go, that's what I want him to look like. That's what I want him to be. But he doesn't have to be. Why does he have to be that in order for you to win? He doesn't. The longer the Packer offense is on the field, the more fresh Micah Parsons and that Packers defense is going to be. Once this team gets up 10-0, 13-0 in a game, bye-bye offense of the opposing team, because now we know you got to throw here in the third and fourth quarter to try and catch up, and we're going to pin our ears back and go. If it's 14-0 in the first, big problems for the other team having to deal with Micah Parsons at that point moving forward. So from the perspective of what this means for this Packers team, if anything, it means just continue to do what you're going to do with the offense, right? Bully ball up front, move dudes, run the football, play act, use your tight ends, and let's go. The question is, will this Micah trade be a great deal for the Packers regardless of what happens? Similar to Damian Lillard. That's a great deal to me no matter what. It didn't work out, fine. Horse took his swing, it didn't work, but he took it. This is no different here with Brian Gutekunst. And I'm hoping y'all don't turn on him like you turned on John Horst.
You shouldn't. And I think if Brian Gutekunst, after this trade and it doesn't work out, is probably going to be like John Horst and try to figure something out still. He's not just going to give up if it doesn't work out. You have to keep going. You have to keep fighting for your job. And people need to give John Horst more credit for what he does in Milwaukee, especially since the Damian Lillard thing didn't work out. That was a good trade when it happened. Like we're talking about here, you can't treat it like it was a bad one now that it ended up being bad. Yeah, the results weren't there, but at the time, it was a good trade. This is the same situation. And like John Horst, I think Brian Gutekunst is going to try to figure something out if it doesn't work. So you don't need to freak out yet.
That's exactly right. There's no need to freak out at any point on this thing going forward. Take a quick time out, come back. We'll check in with Andrew Wagner as we go inside the clubhouse with our Forbes Sports Brewers writer down there watching Brewers batting practice. Straight ahead, Wisconsin Sports Daily served up by Wendy's live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Time for your fan weather forecast brought to you by Utke Heating and Cooling. 78 degrees, which is our high. We are sitting at right now, partly cloudy skies. Looks like a clear night ahead, low of 60. Welcome in. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. See Sparky Fifer with you. Charlie using other side of the glass, doing his thing. I've got it. We're going to get to Drew Wagner, but seriously.
Fly ball, center field, well struck. It is back. Another one for Terang. A new month, the same result. What a heater this kid's on, man.
What's going on? Seriously. I was saying this last week, messing around, but like back in the day when steroids were the thing, like Eric Thames, every time that cat hit a home run, and that dude was right. He'd lift up the whole damn radio station. That dude was so built. Random testing for Eric, random testing. It became a running joke in Major League Baseball. If that was still a thing, the random testing, all this, Bryce Terang would have taken like 12 tests by this point.
I feel like we would have heard Bryce Terang about taking tests. We would have heard Kyle Schwarber out in Philadelphia getting tested every single day.
But see, the difference is Schwarber's a gigantic human being, so okay, fine.
After he hits 4 home runs in a game, man, I feel like you got to test him. I feel like I would have seen something about it.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. But I don't know. Maybe they're not doing random testing anymore. I didn't see that. We got taken out of the MLB
more fun
deal.
with home runs, man.
Maybe they're just not reporting it anymore. Let's find out.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com. Ages 6 to 17.
We're past July. That update should have been figured out more. No, fall mini camps going on right now. Make sure to sign your kids up for the fall mini camps at focusbaseball.com. Drew Wagner joins us now. Follow him on Twitter at @AndrewWagner. Your thoughts? The random drug testing story was a big thing there for a long time about dudes getting random drug testing after they did something of significance. That all of a sudden has gone away. So is random drug testing still happening in Major League Baseball and just not being reported on anymore? Guys just stop talking about it, or what?
Well, after watching Kurt Hogue just hit bombs, I say we reinstate it. But no, you're right, man. Like, I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I used the same example. You know, Eric Thames was peeing in the cup every other day in, what was that, 2017, 2018?
Yep.
That April, remember the Cubs were crying foul? We don't hear about it anymore. And I know it goes on because, you know, I see those collectors in the clubhouse, in the locker room. You know, I'm hoping that it's a sign that maybe dudes have finally figured it out. And you know, I think because it was so prevalent in the minor leagues for so long, and a lot of the guys that are coming up now are.
Can we talk about figured it out? You mean like figured it out like we figured out a way to do what we want to do without being caught, figured it out, or figured it out like they're just not doing it anymore?
I don't think they're doing it anymore. I mean, there are obviously some that are still doing it. I don't think it's as prevalent as it was. And I think dudes are getting a lot smarter. I mean, you know, we're not hearing about getting guys pinched as much anymore. So maybe they are figuring out ways around the system. Who knows? But the fact that we don't hear about it anymore means that it's either working or the cat and mouse game continues. And right now the cat has the advantage over the mouse.
Yeah, I don't have any inside information, nothing like that. I just don't believe that will ever stop. Like, there's always, science will always be ahead of sports. Like, it's just always going to be a thing, right? So I don't know if it ever stops. And like you said, you know, right now, one is in front of the other possibly, or maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe there's no cheating going on in baseball. Find it hard to believe, but
hey, one thing I respect about you is, Sparky, is you've always been open about your blatant drug use. So, you know, more people should follow you.
About my what?
About your blatant drug use.
Oh, drug use. Well, how do you think I got to be this size? So let's talk a little bit about the power that nobody saw coming from numerous guys, right? I mean, Frelick double digits home runs, Durbin double digit home runs, Terang's going to break 20. Like, there's no way anybody saw this power coming from any one of these three guys before the season started.
You know, I thought before the season that this team would have a sneaky amount of power, and I thought it would take a little bit of time for it to come around. And I mean, yeah, you're surprised that these guys are showing that kind of pop, but I mean, really, I don't think it should be all that surprising. Tommy and I talk about this a lot on the Lead Up Show, powered by the Potawatomi Casino and Sportsbook. Tune in an hour before the first pitch every game.
Back at it tomorrow. Yep.
See, I'm learning my radio classes.
Doing great.
Part of it's the natural progression and evolution of a baseball player, right? You come in and a lot of these guys are young. Their bodies are still filling out. They're not the finely tuned machines like you and I, Sparky, in our middle age.
Yes.
So one, their bodies are growing. They're getting more acclimated to the game. And that is automatically going to lead to more home runs. The other thing that I think that goes in their favor, and I think it's lost in all this discussion about the type of baseball the Brewers play, is, listen, their whole game is built around good pitch or good swing decisions, good pitch selection, ball strike recognition, yada, 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 yada. We have heard time and time again, and I have preached this forever, Merck preaches this, more often than not, a home run is thrown than it is hit. It's a mistake pitch. It's mislocated. It's left too high up, this, that, or the other thing, whatever, a hanging curve. When you're really good at ball strike recognition and you're really good at swing decisions, you pick up on those mistakes and you do damage with those mistakes. You're not out there trying to clear the fence and clear the bases with one swing of the bat. You're just trying to put the ball in play, right?
Yep.
So I think when you put all of that stuff together and step back and look at it and go, okay, I can see how this is happening. These guys are, Trey's not out there bulking up. Frelick's not out there bulking up, though he did say that he was crushing mom's spaghetti during the season. I think it's the natural evolution, the growth of the bodies, and just the way that they play baseball. You put it all together, and power is going to come.
Talking with Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer, brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign for the fall mini camps today at focusbaseball.com. So let's talk a little bit about the pitching. I did this topic at 2:20. How are we feeling about Miz now? It's been a minute since Miz has thrown up a bunch of zeros without giving up a big inning of sorts. It looks to me now like this dude is probably destined for this bullpen come the postseason, and then it's probably Priester or Quintana as that third pitcher.
I mean, it's looking that way, isn't it? They haven't come out and said it, and I don't think they're going to come out and say it, but they don't have to make that decision yet. You can hide him a little bit more now the next couple of weeks, as you do have a bunch of off days in there. But I agree with you. It's looking more and more like it. And we knew he was going to come back down to earth. What he was doing, for all the talk about, are the Brewers, is this sustainable? It's unsustainable, blah, blah, blah. I think the most unsustainable aspect of the Brewers was Jacob Mizorowski going out there and throwing 5 shutty one-hit innings every time he took the ball. It's not a knock on him. He doesn't all of a sudden stink. He's just a rookie pitcher.
Right.
And rookie pitchers are going to take some time. So, I think ultimately he probably ends up throwing out of the bullpen in the playoffs, unless he figures it all out all of a sudden and strings together a couple of really good outings. There's still time for that to happen.
I think he's going to be used like Hader, where they need him in the 5th and the 6th, they'll pitch the 5th and the 6th. They need him in the 6th and the 7th, they'll pitch there. He kind of yesterday just kind of blew off the whole. Well, it was third time through the lineup, right? It's baseball. Okay, fine. Then put him into a situation where he doesn't have to worry about that in the postseason.
I think part of the problem is they haven't figured out yet if he's going to be. I know that he did it last year down the stretch with Nashville. I don't know if they're completely sold on whether or not he's the type of guy that can do that or needs the structure. You know what I'm talking about? He needs that routine of going out there, making your start, doing your recovery, doing your bullpen session, doing your throwing, then taking the mound again. I think they're still trying to figure out if that's something that's feasible.
Talking with Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer, brought to you by Focus Baseball here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy. Sparky with you. Day off today for the Brewers. How much of a needed day off was this, would you say, for this Brewers team?
Holy heck, man. They needed it bad. This is an excuse because everyone has a stretch like this during the season. But you could tell that those guys are running gas. And I think they were gassed already in that Cincinnati series. You run off a string like the Brewers did, and you're tired and you're sore, but you're also running on adrenaline. They take that loss, the adrenaline kind of crashes, the wind goes out of their sails, and you have that really goofy day, that first day in Chicago, where you're going in there and you're expecting to play 2, you only play 1, then you have another early long day. I think those 2 days made this stretch tougher than it had to be. It was going to be tough going in, but I think that really threw them off. They're running on gas, and you could see it. I mean, those guys they were on fumes. They were sore. They were beat up. There's not a single guy that was playing 100%, except for maybe Joey Ortiz because he came back from the IL. They needed to stay. And it's amazing how much of a difference one day can make where you're just not at the ballpark, not feeling with baseball. I mean, you know how it is. It's like that in any job. You just take a day to get away from it. Even if you don't get out of bed for the day, just get away from it.
No, I can't do that. I hate staying home. There's no way. And then you're telling me don't get out of the bed for the day. Like, even when I'm sick, I got to get out of bed. Like, that would drive me nuts lying in bed all day. I can't do it. Some of you people like take vacation and they're like in bed for like 2 or 3 days and just watching TV and eating popcorn and whatever. Like, I can't relate, man. I can't do it. It would drive me absolutely bonkers. Mr. Wagner.
The one beautiful thing about being unlovable, single, and childless, buddy. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I was there and I hated it then too. Like, I've been there. I just never liked it. That's why I worked like 80 hours a week back when we started this station. Because what was I going to do at home? Nothing. If I'm here, at least I'm being productive and getting stuff done and helping to build the radio station. Mr. Wagner, I have one last thing for you. I want you to explain to everybody this big softball contest coming up later this afternoon that you are a part of.
It is the semi-annual Hud Galvin Cup, in which members of the Brewers Media Corps take on a collection of Brewers staffers. Last year, we won it for the first time in about 1,000 years under the guidance of manager Kevin Holden. And like a certain other trader, he left us for greener pastures and a bigger paycheck in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I've been handed the reins, and I'm taking over for him.
You're managing?
I'm managing.
Oh, Charlie, what inning does this dude get kicked out? Third?
Second.
Second?
Yeah.
Okay. There's no way you're going to maintain your composure. You're going to get kicked out for sure. I mean,
I have to. The umpire is one of the staffer's kids, so I got in trouble for swearing at him last year. I can't do it 2 years in a row.
Holy God. How is that fair if a staffer's kid is the umpire?
Yeah, I don't know. We also got some of the media relations people's kids on our team last year. We had a ringer last year. I'll openly admit we had a ringer last year. We had David Go, who's now at Fox 11. He was an intern at CBS 58, was also the MVP of the Kevin Holden softball team. We got him in as a ringer, and he won in a swing-off last year.
Against who?
Was the Brewers media relations intern. Crooks, I can't remember his name. He's from
Media
Iowa.
relations intern.
About Iowa.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a big day. Kevin Holden took the iconic holding the trophy in the bathroom picture like Kobe Bryant, and it's hanging in the bathroom where it belongs. Cubs coming home tonight, buddy.
Okay, Cubs coming home. We'll find out more about this tomorrow on the leadoff show with Tommy Wirtz as far as who won and what all went down. I'm sure if you follow Andrew Wagner on Twitter, you'll see it there too. By Andrew Wagner. Mr. Wagner, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
See you, brother.
Take care. There's Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers writer. As we go inside the clubhouse, brought to you by Focus Baseball. Check out their fall mini camps today. Regardless if you are with Focus or not, you can sign up and have your kids participate. Great coaching over there, focusbaseball.com. Charlie's Sounds of the Day coming up in the next segment. Top 3 clips from around the world of sports. If you love Wendy's classic chocolate vanilla frosty flavors, there's some big news. They're all new Frosty Swirls and now Frosty Fusions. Same creamy treat you've always loved. Now they flavor refresh. So what are these new flavors? All right, well, we got the Frosty Swirls, strawberry, brownie batter, and caramel. And the Frosty Fusions, Oreo brownie, caramel crunch. That's like pieces of toffee in it, right? And Pop-Tart strawberry. So clock in for sweet treat time with Wendy's all new Frosty flavors. A refresh on a classic. It's got to be Wendy's. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's as we broadcast live from the 1250 AM at 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy. C. Sparky Fifer with you. Charlie using other side of the glass. How are you doing here on a Tuesday? These 2 hours went pretty quick. I mean, we're almost through 2 hours already. We got 1 hour left. I felt like I just sat down in the seat, Charlie using.
You have, but you've also been running around all day. So, I mean.
You ain't kidding about that, man. Oh, my goodness. Broad House tomorrow. Come on out. Hang out with us. Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Teas out there to be had. Thanks to them for letting us go out and do all these fun remote broadcasts. So Wisconsin Sports Daily tomorrow, 2 to 5. Come hang out. We'll be talking about the Packers, the Brewers, all that fun stuff. We'll have T-shirts to give away, our relief pitcher T-shirts to give away, bucket hats. We have these pop sockets for the phones, like these stress, like pop balls or whatever they're called. I have those to give away too. So come hang out tomorrow, 2 to 5, the Broad House right there on Martin Luther King Drive, downtown Milwaukee. I don't know, a few restaurants down from Mater's. If you know where that is, then you'll know how to get there. Come hang out with us. It should be a lot of fun. With that, let's get to this.
1, 2, 3. What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky? Will Sparky become enraged? Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's on the Fan.
And, of course, it's brought to you by Prize Picks. I'll give you what's going on in Prize Picks momentarily. I did 2 last night on Prize Picks. 2. Both involve this coming weekend. So I will let you know what one of them is today once we're done with this segment, and we'll see if Charlie agrees or disagrees with what I decided to go with Prize Picks. Normally, it's a team effort. We go to this together. But last night I was like, man, I'm craving some Prize Picks. I'm going to do this now. So I did a couple. I tweeted out one of them. If you go to @SparkyRadio, go through my tweets, you'll find it. All right, Charlie, what's pick number 1?
All right. First up, we're going to head over to the Pro Football Focus podcast, which is hosted by Chris Collinsworth. He had Tom Brady on his show there, and they were discussing quarterbacks not being as mentally developed in the NFL right now as they were when Tom Brady was playing.
I don't believe the quarterback position is mentally as developed as it was when I entered the league 25 years ago. There was a premium on understanding defenses, on understanding matchups, on, I'd say, pre-snap reads, getting your team in and out of the right play. And I felt the way that I learned to play the position over a period of time will lead and will continue to lead. You'll give your team the best chance to win. To truly be a field general, like all the guys that we admired growing up, the John Elways, the Dan Marinos, the Joe Montanas, I think you better have a mental advantage on the field. And I think sometimes that's more important than the physical advantage. Now, did I wish I could run? Of course I wished I could have run. But because I couldn't run, I had to double down on those things much more than anybody else. I ran a 5.28 40 at the combine. So I knew that if the ball was in my hands, nothing good was going to happen. So I had to get that ball out of my hands so fast that the defensive line couldn't make an impact on the game. And I had to get it into my skill position players' hands so they could actually advance the ball down the field in order to put us in a position to score points. So I think what's happened is, with the rule changes in the NFL that have essentially taken away forcible contact to a ball carrier, certainly the quarterback, outside of the pocket, even though the quarterback can protect himself, we've now forced a very passive defense. So now the quarterback can run and basically unabated anywhere he wants on the field and has tremendous protection. So because of that, offensive coordinators now have those plays in their playbook and they're running them more than they've ever run them ever before.
Okay. That was very long. Let me just say this. I think every quarterback in football would be better if none of them were allowed to run upfield, right? Because then you would have to improve your passing skills and everything else to a level of, I can't run. Like, I'm a sitting duck. So either I'm going to get sacked or I'm going to throw the ball out of bounds, or I can run out of bounds, but I can't advance the ball upfield by using my legs to scramble out of trouble, right? That would change the way the college game is played. That would change the way the high school game is played. That would change the way the NFL game is played. The reason they're never going to do that is because there is a brand of excitement that comes with a running quarterback out in the open field. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, pick whoever you want to put in the open field. People get off of their seat at a stadium when that quarterback takes off running. When a quarterback takes off running and you're in a bar or at the Potawatomi Sportsbook or wherever you may be, and you're watching this go down, everybody starts, hey, look, and everybody's pointing at the screen where the quarterback is running in the game. And if he runs 20, 30 yards, man, everybody's talking about it for 5 minutes about that one run. So you're never going to get rid of that. To Brady's point, as far as, what he knew he had to do because he couldn't run, as far as how that made him better and how the NFL has changed and so forth, you're never going to rewind back to how the offenses were in the 80s. You're never going to rewind back to how the offenses were in the 90s. The style of quarterback that you're going to play with in the National Football League, the Peyton Mannings of the world, not happening. It's just not happening. Arch Manning, who was given hey, he's the next great one. And before that game happened, I was telling friends and family members, don't buy into the hype, dude. He's not that guy. Just settle down. He's not Peyton. He might be Eli, but he's definitely not Peyton. So let's just wait and see. And what does he do? That dude gets out and he runs, right? He was using his feet in that game against Ohio State to try and pick up first downs. And that is more along the lines of what you're going to see. The stationary Brady, Marino, Manning, Peyton Manning type quarterback, that's done. Because even at the college level, those guys are becoming lesser and lesser by the day. That's what Badger quarterbacks were forever. That's not what they want anymore in Madison. And that's not what they want anymore in the National Football League, Charlie.
Well, and I wouldn't say those quarterbacks are all going to be gone, because I think you are going to see a shift in this kind of style of offense where, yes, you do want your quarterback to be mobile, but you don't need him to be a runner. I think they're going to start going to this like Patrick Mahomes model where he's just extremely slippery within the pocket or outside of the pocket. He just finds a way to give himself that space. And I think you're starting to see younger quarterbacks with that type of archetype. Caleb Williams is kind of like that, where he's not exactly a runner, but he's supposed to be good at escaping out of the pocket and being able to give himself those free throwing lanes. He hasn't really started to do that, but you're seeing guys like Justin Herbert, who's really good at that. You're seeing some of these other young quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, in the second half of the season last year, you saw him start doing that more versus just actually running the ball.
And what do Packer fans want? Packer fans want Jordan Love to run the football and quit being back there not running.
And I think Jordan Love fits into that archetype of a Patrick Mahomes style quarterback where he should be able to be slippery enough in the pocket to give himself those open lanes without having to run for 40 plus yards a game.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, cut to.
Next up, we're going to hear from Brian Kenny on MLB Now. He was discussing his 5 biggest surprises of the MLB season.
That's easy. Not having to rank in the top 10 on the shredder list. That is by far the biggest one of the entire season. But go ahead.
That's not what he said about the Brewers, but he did have this to say about the Milwaukee Brewers.
Surprise number 1. We're in September, and the best record in baseball is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
That's right.
You can like the Brewers. I sure did. I was in their spring training camp with Mark DeRosa this March. We loved how baseball-y they were. However, no Devin Williams, game's best closer. No Willie Adames, their shortstop that jump-started their resurgence. I mean, maybe a playoff team, maybe a club that could give the bulked-up Cubs a run. But best record for about 6 weeks now? No. Here's how. Base running, where they rank, the Brewers, number 1. Unearned runs scored, number 1. That's offensively, number 1 in the game. Fielding, FRV is fielding run value. They're 3rd out of 30 clubs. At the plate, chase percentage, their chase rate, number 1 in the game. Contact rate, 3rd in the game. And it leads to this. Only the Yankees have scored more runs than the Milwaukee Brewers. They're number 2 in runs scored, number 1 in run differential. Brewers, number 1. So admit it, Brewers are the biggest surprise. Surprise number 2, the Dodgers are.
That's really good. That's all good stuff from Brian Kenny there. I'm telling you why they're there. The issue is going to be, and again, we're in a bump in the road. But the thing that must be fixed before you get to the postseason is this pitching needs to get back to being what it was for a majority of this season. It could be guys getting tired, overused, all of that stuff, right? And now it's going to be giving guys breathers. And so, look, they finally gave Jerry Canning a little bit of a breather, and you've seen how he's come back. He's looked really good the last couple of times now, far better than he was there for a while. When he came in, it was a coin flip of what he was going to do when he was in the game. Shelby Miller, not so good since they got him. Now he's probably done for the year with that pop that he heard when he got taken out of the game. So you have to replace him. You've been out without Z for months, so you get him back now in that bullpen. He was good for them prior to going out with an injury. You're going to get Gasser back. He was really good for them last year. That's going to help the bullpen. Ashby, you hope Ashby continues to pitch well in the postseason, because that's a huge weapon to have with a guy that throws that hard from that side of the mound. So that would also be beneficial. And then Uribe obviously has to stay healthy. The McGill injury I wasn't here for either because I was off. That just was a punch to the gut when I saw that one. Hurt a lot, Charlie.
It did. I mentioned how he is the energy of this team. And I think we haven't seen it really change the team yet. But I think you're starting to see those signs of guys get a little flustered and they don't have a Trevor McGill to pick them back up in these situations. I think you saw that yesterday with Abner Uribe after Pat Murphy gets ejected from that game arguing the pitch. And he just feels like he doesn't have that same energy as he did before the argument with that. And I think because of that, having a guy like Trevor McGill to be that energy out on the mound for you really just uplifts everybody else, especially late in these games where you're having these moments where I talked with Mitch earlier. This is usually how the Brewers are winning games. They're coming from behind and scoring 10 runs in 1 or 2 innings and figuring it out. This was weird for them. And you need a guy like Trevor McGill to be the energy for you when it is weird like that.
All right. So last up here, we're going to head over to the Boston Red Sox game from yesterday, where Trevor Story did something that normally wouldn't be able to be done in any MLB ballpark.
1 for 2 with a walk. They'll fly that one down the line. That one heading near the pesky pole, and that ball is Noel up against the wall, and it's going to be a foul ball. Story stopping at second.
Oh, here we go. Whoa, did that hit is that glove or foul pole first? That's what we got to see.
Wow.
I think it hit the glove first.
After review, the call on the field was a home run. The ball hit the foul pole.
Trevor Story, home run. And the crowd goes nuts.
So not only would that not have been a home run in 29 ballparks because it hit Noel's glove and he didn't have full control of it and then hit the foul pole, still gets counted as a home run. So therefore, it's technically wouldn't be counted normally as a home run in Boston. It was the first home run that I've ever seen that would not be a home run anywhere.
That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy how that whole thing played out. And good for Trevor's Story. Remember how good he used to be in Colorado? He hadn't been crap in a while. Between getting hurt and everything else, like he was a stud with the Rockies, man. And to come back and kind of, at least that moment for the year, people will remember Trevor's Story for and going forward, because you'll see that on the highlight reels and everything else. It was all over social media. You had a chance to see it on social media too. That'll do it for Charlie Sounds of the day. Let me talk about Prize Picks now. Packer fans, every game counts, so don't miss a moment of the action this season on Prize Picks. Make your picks, your favorite Green Bay Stars, and ride with the pack all season long. Prize Picks, simple play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Plus, they have also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Double your money, even if one of your picks don't hit. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code SPARKY, SPARKY, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code SPARKY, SPARKY, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details. And again, if you're not quick on the math there, so if you put Sparky in, right, you get $50 lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That means for $5, if you play each lineup is $5, you can pick whatever you want to spend on it, right? You get $20 lineup, $10 lineup, whatever you want. I'm just saying, if you do $5 lineups, if you're like, okay, I'm doing $5 lineups on Prize Pick, you could do 11 $5 lineups for $5 by simply using the code SPARKY on Prize Picks. Come on, man. How hard is this? It's not that hard. That's easy. All right. $5, you can do $5. SPARKY. I told you I was busy last night with a couple of different things that I had going on. First off, let's talk about what I've got going on all year in baseball, shall we? I had a 4-pick power play going on. Churiel, more than 22 and a half home runs, he's at 17. If he doesn't get hurt, he's probably already at 22, right? Or somewhere in that area.
I think so. I'm still pretty confident about that move forward.
Rhys Hoskins got him hurt too. He's at 12. He needs 10 more. That's not happening. So this one is going to be out the window. Pasquantino, more than 18 and a half. He's at 28. That looks good. Brent Rooker, more than 35 and a half. He's at 26. So that's not going to win. But that's what you can do. You can do these things for the season before kickoff of the first game, which is Thursday. So you can do more or less on player stat projections for the entire year, whether it's yards passing, yards rushing, touchdowns, interceptions, sacks, whatever. Pick it. They've got them all up there for you to do for your daily lineups. All right. I'll tell you the 3-pick power play that I did coming up this week. Okay. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
Dak Prescott, more than a half passing yard.
I think that's a pretty easy more. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, again, to do this, all you have to do is 2 or more player stat projections. So that's the first one. I feel good, right?
I'm worried you're going to jinx my fantasy
Unless
team.
it goes Aaron Rodgers and he blows out his knee on a play. I mean, I'm good. Then the other two, maybe a little bit more of a gamble, I guess you could say. Tyreek Hill, more than a half a touchdown, rushing or receiving.
All right. I think I like that. Yeah.
Malik Neighbors, more than a half a rushing or receiving touchdown.
I don't know if I like that one as much.
It's Washington. But either way, I feel good about both of those. You know, Malik Neighbors is the number one guy. They're going to force the ball to him one way or the other. So I think he finds the end zone. I'm more concerned about Hill than I am Neighbors. But so there you go. Prescott, more than a half passing yard. Hill, more than a half a rushing receiving touchdown. Neighbors, more than a half a rushing or receiving yard there as well. Download the app for Prize Picks today. It's free. Use code Sparky to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Sparky to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Green and Gold update time coming up next. Tom Silverstein, Packers beat writer for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, joins us straight ahead on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here.